Hello and welcome to Live on Air Podcast. I am your host, D-stine, and with me today, I have a special guest with me, Mr. Jerome Bradley. How are you, sir?
I'm doing quite well.
That's good. That's good. How you been? It's been a while. You haven't been here in
3 years, November 1st, 2021.
Oh, good gracious. Well, tell me a little bit about what you have been doing since you've been gone.
So, I think I moved out during COVID
Okay.
because nobody knew how that was going. And because I don't know how much people know, but a lot of people know me from doing the airplanes. Like here in Vero, they have the small airplanes, the Piper Warriors.
Yep.
So I was doing that, but I also had another business, which a lot of people don't know about because I kept it under wraps.
Mm-hmm.
But it was very profitable. And
long stroke business.
No, it was. That's profitable too. Yeah. So during COVID, when they put all those laws and stuff out there, it killed my business. It killed it bad.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I'll probably talk about that.
Oh.
But I don't know. I guess it was cutting business. So like right before we started, I was telling Stein how I was thinking about cutting my hair.
Yes.
To get back into my business mode.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are like, oh, you shouldn't have cut your hair. You shouldn't have to worry about that. Yeah, you shouldn't have to, but this is not the world we live in.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't realize that.
Exactly.
And they don't take a business as serious. It's very, how people feel.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't get jobs due to how one person feels.
Mm-hmm.
Like the person interviewing them.
Yep.
Just can be like, you know what? I don't like that person.
See, I'm going to say.
And what can you do about it? You going to argue with them? You going to fight with them? You can't.
You can't. But see, I'm going to say something that people probably aren't going to like. That usually is it's a Caucasian problem. As a black man, we are taught that, or at least I was growing up, like your appearance matters. Like you may or may not get a job just depending on what you look like.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing with black men. The old man used to tell us, hey, when you go into the store, first of all, they already looking at you.
Yeah.
Don't go and try to.
Don't
first
give
of all,
them a
you ain't
reason.
supposed to be stealing anyway. But
yeah,
they already watching you. Just keep your hands away from your pockets. Don't even make yourself look suspicious just because of how you look. And it's not. He never was like, oh, because it's it's not right. People that do that isn't right. It's just not. That's just the way. That's how the world works.
It is. And when people realize this, that's what it is.
That is it.
So
you're cutting your dreads.
Yeah, but
you want a white man job.
Nah. So back to what you were saying with the appearance that's already against us.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's 100% true.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have media against us. You have a lot of stuff against us. So this goes back to something I used to tell people to try to get them to get a better understanding on a better outlook.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't blame the people as I don't blame how people look at us.
Right.
Because the media does play a big influence on how we're supposed to be looked at.
Exactly.
So I always say, I give this example, the green people. Let's just say tomorrow we get a load of green people that comes into the United States.
Yes.
So we don't know much about them or whatever, but all we see on the news is that they're killing, stealing, beating up people, just all the bad stuff, but it's consistently being played.
Yep.
Now, you're at a store, then you see a green person walk up to you.
Now I'm scared. I'm locking my door.
What do you expect? Anybody's going to be like, but are you going to be like, give that person a chance?
Oh,
the average person's going to be like,
no. Nope. Because that's all we see on the news.
Yeah.
And we have no green friends. That's why I tell people, you got to get you some different types of friends. They only get the only green people that they know are the ones they've seen on the news. And all those ones aren't doing good. They're not good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I always try to put that out there like that. But I do want to get back into the business aspect because I know people, first appearance makes a big thing.
Yep.
And that was one of the issues I had in one of my businesses is because I met up with one of the partners that and we're big idea, and he didn't know that because I speak very proper. I've only talked to him on the phone,
Yes.
so we actually brought him down from Massachusetts to come out there. We're going to discuss some business and stuff like that.
Yeah. He was so surprised when
He was extremely surprised. Especially somebody like me put something together to work like that to be able to bring him there.
Mm-hmm.
But there's actually more to that. It's kind of like more to the story.
But that's that same.
But yeah,
I've experienced that same thing.
But am I supposed to let it hold me down? No. Just that part's not going to work. Especially he's a much older white male. It's like he's way up there.
Mm-hmm.
He grew up a whole different type of way.
He did. Yeah.
And can blame him? No. I'm not going to sit there and
why
are you there? It doesn't.
It doesn't.
I move on to the next thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's it, man. That's it.
Yeah.
If I was trying to grow my business, I would not have my hair the way. My hair's been short all the time. Like I was no beard for a long time either. Like nothing.
Yeah.
But now I can do it. Like, okay, whatever. Like I'm not looking to grow anything at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm in my Jay-Z mode. If I ever try to go out and do something else, then I would have to change, most likely.
So I've done a lot of stuff to actually, like, people see the aviation. Yeah, that's something I've done.
Mm-hmm.
I also have my HVAC license. I went to school, got that, so to fix ACs and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Also went to college and got another degree. A lot of people don't know that because I actually didn't even go to my graduation. Mm-hmm. I actually went took the family overseas to go Cuba that time.
See, that's another thing I want to talk to you about. It looks like you was in the motherland. You went to the motherland, huh?
Yeah. I don't know.
I've never been. I need to go. Did you feel like you were home?
You got to realize. All right, so we're talking about Egypt, of course, correct? Yes. So the Egyptians now, and this disclaimer, I am not I'm not saying I'm the smartest person in the room. I don't know every fact. I'm just from what I see. Mm-hmm. But the people living there are Middle Eastern, but they're Egyptian Middle Eastern. Mm-hmm. Are those the real Egyptians from back in the time? Do you think their ancestry is the same ancestry as the mummies? Or do you think they occupied the land at some point and exploited?
Well, yeah. See, that's there's a lot of things that we don't know.
Yes. There's a lot of unknown.
There's a lot of unknown. Just like the pyramids you was in. They really don't know how they were built. No one can actually say for certain how they were.
There's a lot of mystery to that, which I think a lot of stuff that the
aliens.
the tourists try to explain to us.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of them just make up stories. So I've heard plenty of different things because you do the tour guides. Yep. There's one that says that the kings had them build the pyramids to occupy the people because there was nothing to do.
I've heard that one before, yes.
And then there's other ones where the pyramids were built by the slaves and used to show the power of the king to have certain things built. Yeah. So we're going back to King Ramses, the first and especially the second one, King Ramses, where I think he reigned for 66 years.
Okay.
As pharaoh. That's I think that's the longest reign. Time. And he had so many statues, lots of different things in different places like Memphis. There's a place in Egypt called Memphis. I think that used to be the actual capital of Egypt before Cairo.
Okay.
But just his statues from back then are still there. A bunch of them everywhere to show their power. The more stuff, the bigger the stuff, the more detailed the stuff,
No, just
Yeah.
regular human stuff.
But
we
what?
haven't changed.
Yeah. So my all moment so whenever I travel, I like to try to get an all moment, just like something that shocks you, something that's like not, you know, you didn't know.
Yes.
So there's 11 King Ramses, 11 of them together.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yes, there were 11 that reigned. Some short, some short term, some long, like the second.
Yep.
They have recovered the first 6 King Ramses, which King Ramses II was the most popular.
See, that's the one that that's the one that, the second.
Yeah.
That's the only one I really know.
Yeah.
I knew there had to be a first because you can only have a second if there's a first.
Yeah. So, and what's the all moment was King Ramses II was the one that Moses went to.
Okay, yes.
Let my people go.
Yeah, yes. Okay.
And now you're standing over and you're looking at this body of this guy, the same person that Moses was speaking to.
All right, yeah.
I just thought that was crazy.
Oh yeah, no. Nah, that's something to
Yeah, I'm just like
to experience.
Yeah. So I wish I could got a picture, but I couldn't because they had a heavy security around the mummies. Yeah. But they had some other mummies in there that like one with our hair and pops. Then with our type of hair and her braids still intact, look like she maybe got them done a week ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I found that to be quite interesting.
Yes.
Then
how would the women look over there?
Are you supposed to know? They're covered.
Oh, yeah, they are, aren't they?
No. It all depends. The more pure or holy they want to feel, the more covered they are.
Okay.
But it's not necessarily have to because these Egyptians have been more westernized. So their clothing goes more Western.
Okay. Yeah.
Compared to like when you go to other Middle Eastern places, like the long white thing it's like the suit of the place. But I got invited to a wedding.
Oh, go.
Yeah, I got invited to a wedding in Egypt. I was going to do it. It was on the last day, but I didn't want to do it. But he was wearing a suit. No, he was wearing a suit, a very nice suit. And I'm a suit person. I love suits.
Yes.
I've spent a lot, when I say a lot of money on suits. I think the cheapest suit I have now is like $300 and something.
Ooh, yes.
And goes all the way up to like
something
a lot. Because I had a custom made one done in Italy.
Italians. Oh,
yeah. So I didn't know how long it was going to take. So on my very first day, I went there and they did all the measurements and all the stuff and how I wanted the suit made. And since I was going to be there over a week, it's plenty of time to have the suit ready.
You didn't go to the wedding. That's
no. I wanted to, but I was like, I just kind of stayed.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, but it would have been. But the suit he was wearing was very nice, and extremely westernized. And plus, I didn't have a suit.
Yeah, how are you gonna go? Can't go in.
But I could have wore like that big black robe thing I had.
You could have.
But thing was probably sweaty.
Did you ride any camels?
Yeah. It was a horrible experience.
I heard camels are very uncomfortable to ride.
Yes. If you have a bad back, don't get on a camel.
I couldn't get on one.
First of all, they stand up back legs first, and they're very tall.
Yep.
So you have to lean back really hard. If you don't, you will fall forward and fall off the camel. So make sure you lean back really hard. Then when it does get up, it's pretty tall. And when you when it's moving, your back is just like you're doing the wave.
Yeah.
Now imagine doing that for like hours.
Oh my God, no. Nah.
I was so glad to get off the and I was mad at myself because I paid for the big full tour thing. Like we went everywhere on that stupid camel.
Oh my God.
Oh man, I was so mad about that. I'm like, I done paid to hurt my back more.
Yeah. Couldn't be me. I can't even ride in the car for long.
Yeah.
My legs start going numb. Like my lower back, I got herniated disc and junk. So my junks, It's messed up. Freaking football.
Yeah. So when going to Egypt, you land in Cairo.
Yes.
It's one of the main airports there, and the next city over is Giza. So it's only like a 30 to 45, depending on what part you're going. But if you're going from the airport to the pyramids, it's about 45 minutes. So Cairo is decent. It's a nice city. Lots of street food, lots of stuff to see. But then you have Giza, which I wasn't warned about. So Giza, I don't know if the Egyptian people know this or not, but we were told by other people it's called Dumpster City.
That's the hood, huh?
This is worse. So these stores are getting like their trash and just throw it right in the middle of the street. So like the center of the street is just trash.
Oh.
Lots of trash. You see a dead horse thrown on the top of the trash. You see tons of poop in the road.
Yeah, that's not a God.
Hold on a second. Pops is calling me. 1 second.
I'll put him on speaker.
What's up, Pops?
Yo, what's going on in this way?
I'm at Daniel's house right now. We're doing a
You
podcast.
live on air. You live on air.
You live on air. We're at us.
What about D.I.D.?
He's supposed to be coming on here one day when I get the time.
They just got to go on his Facebook. He does it every day.
I want to have him on here. We're going to debate tides. That's what we do.
You got enough tape? Yeah.
I'm cooking some bacon right now outside. And I'm going to take it over to Kim's house for the people for in the morning. So I might be back there. Less than maybe an hour, 2 hours at most.
All right.
He doesn't. I told him he's supposed to be coming on.
Yeah, you're gonna be sitting there debating forever. He's a Bradley.
I know. I want to have.
You're trying to debate
else.
a Bradley.
No, I don't.
A senior Bradley.
I don't want to debate him. I want to bring somebody else. Put him in that other chat. Let them two go at it, and I could just.
Oh, you might as well give it up because my dad's gonna walk out. You know, if a Bradley can't be right, he's gonna leave you right there.
There's a Bradley that was wrong. When did that ever happen?
Yeah. No such thing. That doesn't exist.
Oh my God.
How do you spell Bradley? Right.
That's right. Oh man.
Yeah.
Did anybody try to scam you over there?
It's very big on scammers.
I've seen that.
Extremely big. But you know what? There are a different kind of scammers because they're very bad. So usually when I go to different countries and stuff like that, they're scammers. After you tell them no a few times,
They'll leave you alone.
they leave you alone. It depends. It also depends on your color and how old you are, how much they're gonna bug you. Because I noticed, let's just say, like in the Caribbeans, a lot of islands in the Caribbeans, they know if they like get up in like an older white person's face and start screaming like they're gonna fight, they're gonna pay up because it's like, you know what, here, just take the money. I don't want the problems, and they do that.
Not the YNs. They ain't playing with the YNs.
Definitely not me.
They're like,
because I was gonna fight. I'm like, oh, you picked the right one.
Because I've seen them, I don't know, on TikTok or whatever. They take the picture and then they try to give you the free picture and then say you got to pay for the picture.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Nigga, all
right. They take the picture with your phone, then tell you need to pay them $30.
See, what? Okay.
I told him, I was like, sounds good.
All right, I'm gonna hit one of y'all.
But it got to that point. He started huffing and puffing in my face. I was like, all right. But it got to the point we were literally like this close to throwing hands. Then a police officer and a tour guide stepped in.
Okay.
Because I'm not gonna pay $30 to take a picture.
I don't. But see, I don't even. Usually, I'm just not gonna try to talk to him. Like I'm just gonna ignore him.
Yeah.
Like I see the people now, like they're not scammers, but they're trying to sell us stuff at the mall or walking around and hey, nah, man.
But they're a different level. Over there, they'll follow you.
They'll follow you?
Yeah. Until you say
I'm
something.
gonna hit one of them.
It depends. Like each country got their own type of way of doing it. Like in Cuba, you have one guy to ask you what time it is. And he doesn't need to know the time. He wants to know your answer. Because if you're answering in English,
then
you're a mark right there and there.
Yeah.
Then he's gonna be on you. So there's different ways for them to find out if you.
Yeah. Did you study up any? Like,
so before I go to any,
yourself?
before I go to any country, and I tell this for anybody.
Yeah.
People think that, well, it all depends, but I'm gonna go to this. So whenever I go to another country, when I look for the place, the first thing I do is I need to know my exit.
Right.
So just like in Italy, there's a train that takes you it's called the Roma Terminal, and it takes you straight to the airport. The apartment that I rented was a 10-minute walk from there. So I'm like, if anything ever fails, we got a guaranteed way to get back home. And I like to do that because let's just say you decide, oh, this place is really pretty, even though it's so far out.
Right.
It's cheap, but it's cheap because it's so far out.
So far out, yeah.
So you go that far out. Now, let's say you got to get back to the airport. Time for you to go. You're like, all right, I'm going to leave 3 hours early. I'm going to get there. You know, some countries,
something
you're stuck.
Yep, man. Don't want to be...
Paris, 3 hours ain't nothing. You can get stuck in that traffic for a long time.
Right, yeah.
Italy, same way, bad traffic. Because let's say it's faster to walk places in Italy than to get an Uber. And you're saving the money. So let's just say you order an Uber and it says you get in an Uber, it's going to be like 30 minutes, even though it's not that far away. It's going to be 30 minutes before you get there.
Right.
Because all the turns and stuff like that. Or you can just walk and get there in 30 minutes or less. It's up to you. So basically, when it comes to it depends what part of Rome. I like Italy. In Rome, it's best just to walk in Rome.
Right.
Unless it's really far out. But Venice, walking. There's some other places like Asiago. I like Asiago. I like that. It's I try to go to a place that's like less traveled. Every time I go to another country, I like to go to a place that's like not something like filled with tourists.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so when traveling, escape route is
that's one of the ones.
One of my main things, especially you have your family. If you by yourself, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
But if you have to watch over your kids and stuff like that, it's very important. So finding out like how much exactly where the place is. So usually when I land or whatever, and even if I have to walk to the place, I know exactly where it's at because I done Google mapped it. And I know exactly where the place is.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So, and I look for restaurants. So one of the main thing is when I look for a place, I find the address, look up the address, and I look up the places around it because having food accessible is another big thing.
Yeah.
Then not only that, you click on the restaurants, find out how much they're charging because some places charge more than others.
Right.
The closer you move to main attraction areas, the more expensive it's going to be. So, okay, you found more traffic, higher traffic of people walking and cars is going to be.
Yep.
Especially Europe, pickpocketing.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Pickpocket. Yeah, they're bad on that.
Yeah, it's very bad. I think Italy is worse than Paris.
Right.
But it's still bad. And it's like a thing. Like they come in groups. It's not like one person like you see in the movies. Oh, look here. Let me tell you.
Yep.
So let's just say you're on a train, then like 6, 7 people like are rushing on the train, like make it seem like they're just trying to get on the train and they're brushing against you.
Yeah, they're trying to.
All of them just like went through your stuff and you didn't even realize it. Or they just like pretend like because if a train is packed, they'll squeeze in. So you got 7 people squeeze around you and they're all on the same working together.
Yeah, they're working together.
And now they're digging through your stuff. And you don't even know it.
Yep.
So that's a big thing. And they say that everywhere. We're inside it. Wherever you go in Italy, they tell you watch for pickpockets is bad, especially Venice. That's the worst.
I'm putting all my money right in my dick.
Yes.
Oh, you gonna go in there? All right, I'm gonna know that.
Yeah. So I try not to be too close to like the main attraction places.
Yep.
I'm glad I did that for in Egypt because the area like close to like the pyramids is terrible. Like there's so many people there.
Damn, yeah.
And Egypt usually when you go to another, you tell people no a few times and they go away.
Yep.
Egypt,
No, they want.
they're gonna follow you. They're gonna follow you, and they're very persistent.
Niggas. I'm gonna speak a different language. I'm gonna start. I don't know what. I'm gonna act like I don't know what they're talking about.
So my daughter actually seen me do that a few times. Some people, some of them will give in. Other ones, they don't care. They're gonna
continue on.
Yeah, they're gonna try to get some money out of you some kind of way. Because all they're gonna say is they're trying to guess what dollar you have. So they're like, oh, 10 euro or $10 or however Egyptian.
10 yen. What is that?
Yeah, what's that? The
Chinese money.
Yeah. So there's this little kid named Muhammad that stayed. They got little kids. I mean, like I show my kids. I'm like these little kids at their age working.
Oh yeah.
Talking about got the wagon and the donkeys, pile with stuff. Just 2 kids, my children's age, working. And there's this little kid, Muhammad. He's young. I think he's like 11, 12 or something like that. And he's working the corner store by himself. So then I just trying to get me some water before I went to the actual store and got a big thing of water. I got just a regular big bottle of water so I can take back to the apartment. And as soon as I go over there, he's like 100 Egyptian. 100 Egyptian is like $2 American.
Yeah.
So I'm like, $2 for water, whatever. It was a big water.
Yeah.
It was nothing to me. But in reality, that water actually costs like 27 American cents.
Right. So
he was able to come up on me on that. But for me, it wasn't nothing.
Right.
But in reality, I overpaid for that water like
way
crazy.
Overpaid, yeah.
So now little Muhammad thinks I'm rich. So next time.
And he's correct.
Yeah. No. So every time I come down the road now, Muhammad just like, American. God. Water, $10.
Oh my God. He's
like, $10. I'm like
that thirsty.
Yeah. He's like, okay, American, $5. $5 American. I was like, but I like the kid because I like he's having to do this at such a young age.
Yeah.
But I can tell he was laughing his behind off. So then he'd be with like a little group of his friends or whatever. He see, because we have to pass his store to get out from our apartment. And it's like clockwork.
Yep. Oh, there he goes. There he goes.
Yeah, because it's like at the end of the road, then you have to get what they call a tok-tok. Tok-tok. Yeah, it's called a tok-tok. It's like a motorcycle with a cabana on it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, a tok-tok. It's like cheap and it takes you wherever you want.
Where you want to go, yeah.
So to get a tok-tok, I have to wait like at the end of the road. American.
Oh, here you are.
Water. $10.
Hustling you, man.
Yeah.
The rich American.
Yeah. I think I gave him like 50 euro when I left because I mean, it brightened up his day like crazy because euro's worth more than American.
Right.
So,
I might try to see. I don't know. Maybe I'd try to practice a different accent. So it wouldn't seem like American because it seems like they want a target.
Americans. They're targeting anybody that's not Egyptian. But you got to remember, they're still black Egyptians.
That's
they're
right.
darker than me. I'm black.
I'm gonna say a couple of Egyptian words.
Yeah.
And that's about it. That's all.
But they don't bug you if you're Egyptian. They're not even. Well, but if they catch a hint that you're a tourist, then they come after you. So when I had that black,
the whole thing on?
Yeah.
Oh, you look like
wrap the dreads up because the dreads is a giveaway.
Yeah.
And put on some the slides.
Yep,
dirty feet.
Yep.
I can walk.
Oh no, that's Muhammad.
Yes. Incognito. Yeah.
Oh
But I was able to. And I did that on the last couple days,
Mm-hmm.
and that was pretty fun. So I was actually getting to see stuff firsthand. You know, people not bugging me and stuff like that. So that was nice. But my hair drew a lot of attention.
Mm-hmm.
So especially with the other tourists and stuff like that,
Yeah.
the amount of Europeans from weird places in Europe I never heard of
Mm-hmm.
that wanted to take a picture
Was it
with
your hair?
me with the hair.
Yeah.
It was awkward, but it's just like whatever. I'm just like,
Yeah.
yeah, my face is somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a cruise down the Nile River, and it's a lot of Europeans on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I say 2 people just on that cruise wanted a picture. Then a few other places, a guy and his son, not like at a store.
Mm-hmm.
This guy and his son. I want my hair like that.
Oh.
Yeah, let's take a picture. Yeah, hey, my son's over there. Hey, come over here. Get his picture with us. Get a picture with this guy. I was like, oh, okay. But they have their own accents. There's so many different countries in Europe. So, something I found interesting about the pyramids is that the Nile came all the way up to the pyramids.
See, that's one of the ways they
used to
think
transport
the stones. Yeah, they think that possibly.
Because there's 2 huge like ships
Mm-hmm.
that were docked right next to the pyramids.
Right.
They took the ships out, but they left the area where the ship was,
Mm-hmm.
and they blocked it out so you can see where the ship was and like the size of it. But that was right next to the pyramid.
Right.
Why would that be next to the pyramid?
It's a lot of mystery, and it's crazy that no one actually knows for certain. That's the craziest thing. Like these things are here. Of course, they got here somehow. They aren't just. They're not. They were man-made.
Yeah.
Or alien-made.
So a lot of people say like, oh, the pyramids were used for this, used for that. But you go to Egypt. You go to Egypt, the pyramids was just solely a burial place. That was it.
Right.
So the biggest pyramid that they do have, that's one of the main ones that people see whenever the pyramids are shown in Giza.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like it's once you finally get into like the middle, it's like a coffin thing right there. Which is pretty interesting, but it takes a lot of work to get into the middle of it.
Yep.
It's a lot of crawling. There's a lot of steps. And if you're not in shape, you're done. And I can't imagine somebody trying to do that in the summer because it's super hot. It was like 80 degrees when I went. Inside the pyramid, it was way hotter.
It had to be way hotter than that, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we went into like 3 different pyramids.
Okay.
A lot of my son hit his head on the 3rd one, so that cut it out for the rest of them because he was like bleeding. I'm like, oh crap,
Jesus.
yeah,
He really hit that motherfucker.
yeah,
right?
because he's smaller, so he was able to move quick. We had to crawl, and he's
Right.
like ducking and running, and I guess when the rocks longer, bam. Yeah, so then being hot, adrenaline rushing,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess the spot is like the blood. Like my daughter's like, yeah, there's blood on the thing. I was like, well, it sucks to be whoever that was. And then it was my son, and my son's like, I'm bleeding. I'm like, oh crap.
Head wounds do bleed a lot. So.
And and where we're at is just like, I hate the fact I had told him like, let's hurry up and get out because I know you're pushing like your adrenaline up to make the blood come out more.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no other way. So I was like, come on, let's get out because these people ain't finna come in there and get him out.
No.
So we got out, then washed his head off and took my shirt off, like held against it, but it wasn't that bad. It stopped like in a few minutes.
Overall, it was a
informative trip. They have a big vegetarian bread diet, and yeah, the beef. It's like beef on a stick, or whatever they want to call it, and like cut up pieces of chicken was the most meat I've seen. I actually went to a buffet over there. And there was something at that buffet. I don't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But
snake.
I didn't have a solid shit for like 3 days.
That's another thing I worry about.
Yeah,
they will say
it's traveler's diarrhea. You're gonna get it.
Yeah. Oh God.
You're gonna get it. It just depends what country. But I think Cuba was the worst.
You drank the water?
No.
Oh, wait, that's Mexico.
We had no
Never
idea.
mind.
No, Cuba, you don't drink the water in Cuba. No, you don't. No, none of the places. Because you got to remember, we have different bacteria.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, yep.
Compared to their bacteria, then it just,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't match up. It makes us sick. So in Cuba, you got to remember, Cuba is like, they're very dominated by their government.
Mm-hmm. They are.
So I remember when we got there, it took me like 2 hours to find deodorant. And we went from well, I did. I went from a lot of people selling stuff out the front of their houses.
Okay.
So luckily, I saw some toilet paper. I'm like, they only gave us one roll of toilet paper for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. And it's just one roll. So I'm like, well, let me grab some rolls while I'm out.
Might as well.
Thank God I did that.
Mm-hmm.
So then finally found deodorant like I say, it took like 2 hours. Then I went to another store and it was picked out a bunch of stuff so we can bring back to the kitchen and stuff like that. And I couldn't purchase nothing because I had to have a government card to be able to use to be able to buy stuff there.
Right. Yeah.
So I put all the stuff back.
And they'd had to put that stuff back.
Yeah. So then ate out restaurants most of the time, but that very last day,
You got something special.
we all did.
Ooh.
So luckily we brought the toilet paper back with us.
Mm-hmm.
Because we get to the airport doesn't have toilet paper or hand soap.
Oh, man.
This is the airport.
You got to use your sock.
There's people there's people coming in and out that bathroom, and there is no toilet paper in there.
Oh, no.
No hand soap.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that. Yeah.
I might not go to Cuba. I might skip that one.
Cuba has the antique cars, where you can see where it's converted over to diesel because they don't have gasoline over there. Like the motorcycles were like electric. They have a profound history. Like Cuba at one point was ran by Chinese. They got a Chinese graveyard there.
Mm-hmm.
Huge. That they don't touch. And it's still there.
Oh.
But how many Chinese people do you see in Cuba?
I think I've seen.
Then another interesting about Cuba, they have the Italians, the mafia.
Okay.
So the mafia had hotels built or big, huge buildings built. And those are still
That
there
was
to this
before
day.
they tried to kill Fidel.
Oh. Yeah. So it's a lot of history there.
Yeah.
A lot of people been there before.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I guess it kind of makes you want to study the history of Cuba more, but that's who the person wants to study.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Cuban Missile Crisis is enough.
Oh yeah.
For me, Bear Pigs, all that stuff. It's like, oh.
But I like doing this traveling so
Yeah.
that the kids can be able to see and understand
There's difference.
and be grateful.
Be cultured.
Yeah,
You have
because
very cultured kids.
you gotta realize there's a lot of people that have never been outside of Florida.
Yeah. No, that's.
A lot of people never been past Orlando.
Yeah.
But then you talk to them and they think they know everything. Yeah.
Right.
And they see something on the news and they compare what they see on the news to what they see around here. But I tell people, you can't compare what happens in California to what happens in Florida.
Right.
Those are two different cultures.
It's way too different. Yeah, way different.
Yeah, because the way those people feel about certain races or certain places, it's different how we feel about certain races. And it goes like that up to New York. They're everywhere is different.
Everywhere is different.
Yeah, we're one country, but these different states are literally different.
Yep. A lot of people don't even understand that point with like the Canadians. It's like, hey, these Canadian people, they don't have that stain of slavery on them like the Americans do. So they look at black people way different.
Yeah, really.
They-
Africans look at black people way different.
Dude, they do.
Let me say, what I find it funny because like how people want to be super African here, and like, oh, but they don't claim us.
They don't. They don't.
They pick on us a lot. I have an African friend from Abuja, from Nigeria, and he was like, "Yeah, you're African, right? Yeah, yeah. Wakanda forever, right?"
That's the only. Not even a
like,
real place, but yeah.
But they do to pick on us. It's just like, they don't consider us like that, you know.
Don't.
But but I'm not gonna say all of Africa. It's because there's different countries.
Yeah.
Africa is a continent.
Mhm.
There's different countries. There's some countries in there
Mhm.
that look up to Americans and they want to be Black Americans.
Yeah. Oh, that had, yeah. Okay, there definitely are some places.
Yeah. They look up to it. They look up to the drill music, the Florida drill music. They look up to that, and they stupidest thing ever. But yeah, they look up to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I always say something that's so controversial, and people don't like it.
Uh-oh.
But
Go ahead.
I
and
say
it.
Black Americans
Yes.
are some of the most spoiled people.
Yeah.
Because, all right, anybody that travels will understand what I'm talking about.
Okay.
People that had never been anywhere and this is all they know,
Mm-hmm.
they're not going to understand that.
Right.
This is like, like as a Black American, yeah, there's racism. Guess what? There's racism everywhere.
There's racism everywhere.
But here in America, you literally have the chance to be almost anything you want to be. Like,
Pretty much.
you can, I'm not even going to say that. I'm going to say you can start from nothing
You can.
and be something.
You can.
It may not have been your dream. You can be you turn out to be something, but you like my boss, my first aviation boss, Paris.
Mm-hmm.
He was homeless.
Oh, yeah.
He came here homeless.
Mm-hmm.
And now
Now look
he's
at
a
him.
multi-millionaire
Yeah.
owning crazy amount of planes.
American dream.
But
It can
then
happen.
Black Americans are to the point where they're so spoiled where they can just blame everybody else.
That's yes.
But people don't like when I say stuff like that.
Because
I had to learn for myself.
right. Yeah.
Because it's either I could have stayed down,
Mm-hmm.
nickel and dime, penny, or do little small jobs. But I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I got introduced to a better life. And a lot of people are never introduced to a better life, so they don't know a better life.
Right. They don't even see it, so they
Yeah.
can't even imagine it. That's why, like you're saying, they got to get out and see.
Yeah.
Like, just go see what's see what's out there.
Yeah.
See what's possible.
So I have an ex. I'm not gonna say her name.
Uh-oh.
But
Say your name.
no, I'm not gonna say her name.
Okay.
But my homeboys know who I'm talking about. But
Mm-hmm.
crazy amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy amount. And she's the one that really opened my mind up to like
Oh,
a different lifestyle.
yeah.
And since then, I've been like, I was pursuing to get up to that level.
Right.
Then start finding things I like about people
Right.
and trying to add that to my lifestyle. I was more hard on myself than anything, but anybody could be.
Mm-hmm.
Then I remember my teacher, she said something and now it makes so much more sense. She's like, she's like, McDonald's is always going to need workers. I was working at Maryland Fried, but I'm using McDonald's. She said McDonald's, but
It can apply to any.
it
of those type
applied to
jobs.
like a lot of entry level jobs and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to be my peak? A lot of people, that's good enough for them.
It's gonna.
Paycheck to paycheck, they're fine. They're happy.
People they are freaking so acceptable to mediocrity. It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. But then they wonder how other people are taking these trips and doing all this other stuff, but they want to live that average, but there's so much opportunity out there.
Yeah.
And I tell people, when people give me this big, long sob story, I don't try to help nobody out anymore. People are useless. So when they give me them big, long sob stories, I'm like, so what's stopping you right now from learning something new?
There's really themselves. That's it. The only
We
thing
have access to so much stuff.
Information. Yeah.
YouTube, you can learn a bunch of stuff.
Pretty much anything on the internet.
My first whole hotel job as a maintenance man, I didn't know what I was doing. I remember
Figured it out, though.
he would ask me to do something. I was like, all right, let me go grab my tools or let me run to the bathroom real quick. I went in the bathroom and I YouTube how to do it.
Yes.
Then I went down there like I was professional Joe Blow and did it.
And did it, yeah.
And I kept doing stuff like that until I had it down packed.
Right.
And I became like, when it comes to maintenance, easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And same. So back then, like when you're fixing on your cars and stuff like that, you had to buy a book. It's like this thick book. Then you have to read the book.
Mm-hmm.
Here, they got videos showing you exactly how to do it.
Exactly what to do.
Yet people aren't.
They refuse.
Trying.
Yeah, but see,
they're okay with
mediocrity.
They're okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to be okay with it. And that girl opened my eyes to that. Like, she had this little mini mansion over there in Hudson Island, over there in Fort Pierce.
Legs.
Yeah, dude. She had a jacuzzi in like almost every room.
Ooh.
It was crazy.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. So that's one thing that had opened up my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started seeing some of my friends starting to do better.
Yep.
Not just friends, family stuff, starting to do better.
Yep.
And that's when I was like questioning myself. I'd be like, why don't I have that?
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
And that helped me out a lot. I was like, if this person can do this and we're in the same situation, why can't I do this?
Why can't you do the same? Yep.
And I was able to accomplish it. And people throw out a million excuses. I am a 6-time felon.
I was going to say.
Almost 7. But I had enough money to afford a lawyer this time.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. It's like 10 grand down the drain.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. People, but the path of least resistance. Like people just
the easy way.
The easy way.
They're like the quick money, the scam money. They're just like, what I can get that. And they're just messing stuff up for the future. But my thing is, there's so much opportunity here, and we refuse to reach out and take it. And I see it, and I get mad at these clean record people, and just like, you have a clean record.
I can't, like, I'll see the people that, oh, I can't get a job. You ain't trying to get.
You're not trying.
I know you're not trying.
Yeah. Or they get all bougie. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And that's a very big thing.
Mm-hmm. They don't want to do that.
Let me put it like this. I hated that maintenance job. People are disgusting.
I mean,
but I needed to do it to learn. I didn't give up.
Yeah.
I stayed there until I got to the next level.
Yeah.
Then once I got to the next level, I worked hard until I can get to the next level.
But see, I kind of blame social media too. Because once all they see is that the shiny stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see the work that went into the shiny stuff.
But then again, they got to remember, most of those people are broken lying anyways.
Most of them are too. But
that's a big thing.
That is a big lie.
People, Stein, the amount.
Oh, I know it.
Of people that live this luxurious life online and begging me for money.
Yeah, I call it fake book. So, yeah. Oh no, it's bad. It's bad.
I remember helping somebody in need to get to one place to another, and they posted on Facebook like they're vacationing.
Goodness. I believe you.
The amount of people I helped out, and it just like they turn around and just like.
See, that's why I don't help people. I don't. You can say what you want to about me. I really don't help people that much.
Yeah, I don't do that. I still do it for the people that I see that need it, but the amount of people that and now they're all of a sudden a superstar. I had this one guy. I helped him get back and forth to work. I paid for him multiple Ubers.
Oh, you're a nice guy.
And gave him money to buy his kids presents because he was doing bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I had it. Why not? I was probably going to blow it on something stupid anyways. Mm-hmm. Why not put it to good use? Then when he finally got a job and started doing better, he blocked me. But I got so many stories like that. Mm-hmm. But I don't mind.
You're a nice guy. That's what it. I'm just not that nice anymore. I mean, I used to be. I think I just can't.
Man, I bought cars from multiple people.
See, I'm definitely not doing that. What?
Yeah.
I'm definitely not doing that, man. I don't give. I used to give money to like people that beg. Like if I had the change.
No, I don't do that. I like to see when I see somebody struggling. Yeah. So the people that I bought vehicles for
real,
I saw them like walking back and forth to work miles and miles, and that they deserved it.
Right.
Maybe there's maybe one person that I just gave a vehicle to that I wasn't sure about, but I still helped them out. But I feel good knowing that they're putting it to use and that they're bettering their lives.
Right.
So that's like my, you know, I don't know the word for it. Just like my feel good about the situation.
Mm-hmm. No, it makes you feel good. It does. You helping other people out that you know need help. It does make you feel good.
Yeah. So hopefully, like it's probably not going to happen, but hopefully when I go homeless or something like that, they'll reach out and help me. She ain't going to happen.
It's not. But no, I get what you're saying.
There's going to be some stranger that's going to come out and do due diligence.
Yeah. No, I do kind of believe in the karma thing too. So I have I think I have given some money to certain people, but no, I have now that I'm thinking about it. But it's certain people. It's like I know people that I know.
Yeah.
So, but if you just a random or if you hurting and you have all the opportunities, if you's a white male, I'm not giving you anything.
Viewers, I am not agreeing. I don't see color. I gave up. I gave up on color.
Good for you.
Good for you. I had an awakening.
Yes. I
found out that black people can be just as or more racist to black people than white people.
I am so racist.
Yes. You know something that used to piss me off? I'm gonna say piss me off that aggravates me is when a black person feels too bougie enough to acknowledge another black person.
That's
Especially like when I go to a different country.
Mm-hmm.
So in Dominican Republic, I got a really nice place. I mean, I spent some money at that place.
Mm-hmm.
To be there. That place was super expensive, and I paid for the full out luxury thing, butlers, everything.
Oh,
yeah.
Big money.
I went all out for that one.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
There was another brother there with his girl. Mm-hmm. The way this guy looked at me like he wanted to be the only black person there.
Oh,
so me, I don't like to assume.
Right.
So I will go and talk to people. There's a way to say about people that assume. It makes an ass out of you and me.
That's the one.
So I don't like to assume anymore because assumption messes up a lot of people.
It does.
And a lot of people, so many people lose opportunities off assumptions.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So many people. But I want to go to this guy. So they have the areas where the bar, you chill and talk, everybody's kicking it.
Yep.
He'll talk to everybody but me.
Mm.
I'll talk, keep it short with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what did I do to this guy?
Mm.
And I've had that in this guy had to be from. I had this in Italy also. It was a brother from
Keep going.
It was a brother from He had to be in the lower states because I can tell from his accent. And the way he talked down on me at the place to get the custom suits, like I don't know, I felt like that. Like, why are you talking down on me?
Yeah, it does happen though. But
And he bought some socks.
and using that, getting a nice suit.
Then and this is when I come to pick it up, and they handed me my custom.
Mm-hmm.
The way this guy looked at me,
Oh, man.
I'm just like, why you gotta act like that?
I don't.
Hey, when does it hurt to say, hey, how's it going? I'm doing well. Hey, enjoy the play. Something simple.
Right.
These people,
Yeah.
what's all that for?
Mm.
But you'll talk to everybody else.
But you
Want to feel all high class, so you want to go into the expensive place and buy socks just so you say you bought something there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what do you do? you bought socks.
Hell.
They're not even custom. You pull socks off just so you can say you bought some socks or bought something from this
That's
place.
the cheapest thing. That's the cheapest thing to buy is socks.
Yeah.
I got Gucci socks.
Yeah. But it be like that.
No, it does. It does.
And
Maybe I'm gonna have to do like you. That see, because I mean,
things. It comes from everywhere. So
right.
Here's an example.
Yep.
My truck. Remember my lifted truck I had?
Which one? The
silver,
big one?
Yeah, that one.
Oh.
Yes, that one. I
That
put
one.
a lot of money into that truck.
Uh-huh.
Then my boat. Extreme amount of money into the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody expects me to be getting out that truck with that boat.
Yeah.
So there's times I'm in traffic.
Yeah.
And I will see somebody like give me the weird side eye or
like
something
this.
like that.
They would give you the weird side eye like this. That
Yeah.
mother freaking truck.
Yeah, but I will, even at the docks and stuff like that.
Right.
The
Oh, yeah,
looks I
definitely.
will get.
Yeah.
Because these guys, there's people that worked all their lives,
Mm-hmm.
and the most they were able to afford was like a 21-foot something, and I'm coming with a 30-foot
That
cobia,
big old- whatever that thing was, that big old thing.
twin Yamis,
Yeah. No, yeah.
on a 4x4. Yeah, and I caught people gave me attitude, but before the people that gave me attitude, the people that look at me weird,
Mm-hmm.
we're automatically gonna assume, oh, he's hating on me. What if he's not? What if he just like had a flashback or something? Or he's just like thinking maybe his son drowned on a boat and he doesn't like boats.
Could be.
There's so many assumptions. I mean, so many ways it could have been, but we're gonna automatically assume the worst.
Yeah.
But that's what human beings do. They assume the worst of anybody.
Yeah. Well, see, I've been trying to get. Well, I kind of get past that because I don't even see it no more. Like a lot of times, because I'm so busy doing other things. Like I'll see a look, I'll see a glance, and it's like I don't even. Other people will see it and tell me about it. And I was like, oh, I didn't even see that. I wasn't paying attention to that. I got so much other stuff to do, so much other stuff on my mind. I don't even freaking see that junk.
So, and let's say, for example, the car show, when they had the Riverside car show.
Ooh, and that stingray, huh?
So I brought the vet to the car show.
Mm-hmm.
And one time I went there, I didn't get treated the same way everybody else got treated.
Oh, of course not.
So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to have a fire extinguisher. Every vehicle is supposed to have it. And the fire extinguisher is supposed to be in front of the vehicle. Then the judge is going to come, he check out the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times until you lift up the hood or whatever, and you crank up your vehicle. He wants to hear crank up.
Yep.
And they do their little inspection, cut it off, then they go to the next person. They did that,
Mm-hmm.
but not to me.
Hmm.
I didn't even get to the part to crank up my vehicle.
Is that when the stingray was red?
This is when it was silver.
Oh.
So we had a classmate. I'm gonna say his name, Jordan Bello. Jordan Bello, his dad,
Mm-hmm.
wealthy guy, came up to me He's like, man, this is a nice car, but you know these white folks ain't finna dig it. He's white. I was like,
I mean, yes.
well, I seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get the fair chance. But
Right.
okay. I left it as it was. What I'm gonna do, mad?
Yeah, you can't really, and especially not you. If you date,
Yeah, what? They call the police on me.
if you date white girls,
But
you got to get over a lot of that racism stuff from a long time ago.
I dealt with that in high school a lot. A lot in high school. A lot in high school.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but I learned to. So there's certain times you can realize when people are not being fair to you, and there's time where
Yeah.
you're just assuming they're not being. I spoke to older white guys that they just look mean,
Mhm.
and they end up being my close friends. They just look mean.
They just look mean. Yeah.
There's people that have what they call the
Resting bitch face.
yes,
Resting bitch face. Yeah.
yes. There's people with that.
Yep.
Does that make them a bad person? No. They just have that face. But we're automatically assume, oh, he don't like me. So I learned that's not the way to think. To be able to make more money to succeed, the more people you meet, like when you're trying to build yourself up, you don't know who's going to help you get to that next level.
You have no idea. Yeah.
The guy that helped me get to my next level, no idea. Absolutely no idea
Mm-hmm.
that he was going to be the guy to open my eyes to making more money.
Yeah, I learned that from my old man. He just talked to everybody. That man talks to every freaking body he sees.
Because you don't know who you're
You
talking
have no
to.
idea.
So one thing I used to love doing, I used to have a classic car wash.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have the stamp thing, the membership.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I used to love getting my vehicles clean,
Mm-hmm.
especially they're nice vehicles.
Yes.
And I like seeing my delinquent classmates wash my vehicle.
I was one of them.
Wash my vehicle. And still do.
I don't think when I worked there. Nah, because I worked there. When did I work there? Really early on. I think that was before I started working for Martin. No, it might have been after. I don't know, but
So I met this white guy
Mm-hmm.
2 days ago or yesterday or something
Yeah.
like that. Saturday. That was yesterday. And what to know?
Mm-hmm.
Regular white dude. And I don't know how the conversation started. Oh, I had a seat and I saw him standing up. I just, take the seat, man.
Yeah.
Then we just started talking. Then just talking, and I was telling about how I moved to Georgia and all this other stuff. Then talk about the career and stuff like that. Come to find out, this guy owns multiple car dealerships in different states.
Mm-hmm.
And his wife, I didn't know this until closer to the end. And when his wife came, he's introducing me to his wife. And he was like, this young man right here, I will hire him in a second.
Oh, okay. Keep your word.
Yeah. My thing was, if I was in need of a job,
You could get one right there.
right there,
Yep.
this guy legit was interested.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You just don't know who you're
You just
talking
don't know
to.
who you're talking to. Talk to everybody. I mean, yeah, talk to everybody and try to be, because
People just got to stop having a short fuse. That's what messes a lot of people up.
that is.
I learned to walk away from a lot of stuff, and that's helped out.
Yeah.
It helped out a lot.
But see, I got my smile. That's my Lincoln letter. That's what I tell people. That's my Lincoln letter. You know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
What helps me out is I speak extremely proper, and that shocks the crap out of a lot of
It
people
does.
when they're not expecting it to come from me.
Right.
Yeah, it usually grabs their attention to whatever I have to talk about,
Yeah.
and I'm not too judgmental, or I'm pretty intelligent. I like to think sometimes, and they're willing to listen to me.
Yeah. You enunciate.
Yeah,
your-
I try. I don't know where I get it from. I can't
Um,
understand what my dad be saying most of the time.
He
BJ mumbles. And just like,
Nah, what does he? Nah,
I mean,
at times.
yeah, I don't know where I got it from, but it helped me out.
Yeah,
That's
I
for
don't know.
sure.
It's them white girls. They
I
like,
don't know. No, but it's always been. It's been since elementary, and I've
Right.
caught crap about it
oh,
all my life.
I've heard it. I try to. I correct certain people. I will correct. Like, oh, you talk like a white person, and I tell them,
You know who told me that the most?
who is that?
Black women.
Well, yes, but I like talking proper isn't inherently
Yeah.
a white thing.
It's just talking.
It's just
speaking
like
proper
you said,
English.
It's like, and I will correct, but certain people I just like. Okay, cool. I had a woman tell me that freaking last week. Was it like? No, it was a couple weeks ago. One of my customers, like, she wasn't saying it in a way like, because we were talking about something else, and she was like, "Yeah, because you don't talk like a black guy." And I just let it
I
go.
get called
I'm
white
like, I don't
boy
want to.
so much. I'm just like, you sound like a little white boy. And the amount I heard that, I'm just like, ugh.
Come on, man. It's not.
See, I got bullied by black people more than I got bullied by white people.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That is a thing.
Yeah, it seriously is a thing. You're too black. You speak too proper. You're not hood enough.
But I'm pretty sure, because me, I do both. Like, I relax myself when I'm around, like, people that I relax myself. Like, so I will say some things, double negatives, this and that, like, when I'm relaxed. But I know if I'm talking to, like, I'm going to try to speak proper. I'm trying to smile to people because I already know I look like mean like my daddy, so I need to smile because
It's the presentation, man. It's the presentation. Because people are going to judge you off how you first come off.
that is exactly
Come off
it.
to them.
That is exactly it.
It can't be that. You may not think of it that serious, but that first thing is going to make a big difference,
Right.
and people are not realizing that.
And see, I got kind of the same one time, kind of the same story about, because I had been talking to one of my customers, new guy, never met him. I've spoken to him a few times on the phone, and I'm like, it's my first time to go to meet him. I already talked to the man quite a bit, and I said, look, I'm gonna be there in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Cool. I come out there, I go out there, and you got to read subtext with some people because they'll say things and you don't. But I kind of see what's not said. So I'm walking up there and he's like, hey, you're not Daniel, are you? Yes, I am. I am. Like, if it's different if he said, are you Daniel? But no, he said, you're not Daniel.
But you got to learn it not to take stuff to heart.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I don't care.
And you know, I smile at even some of the most offensive stuff that I feel like offensive because you know what? He probably didn't mean it like that.
He did mean it like that. But that's by him saying, you're not Daniel, are you? Instead of saying, are you Daniel? He knew you not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
So, but nice dude, nice guy, man.
Yeah, and Bill, I used to hang out. The guy I originally bought the Corvette from, and he hung out with a bunch of older. They're all old. They were like 70s, 80s. But I learned so much from them. I learned a lot from them.
Those are the ones you learn from.
And that's what got me into the business mindset because a lot of people thought I was getting a lot of the money from aviation. In reality, I wasn't getting that much from aviation.
Drugs.
So the problem with businesses these days is, especially you can say in our community and stuff like that, people want their name to be known.
They do.
It's my business. Sometimes they have their name on it.
Crazy. Yeah.
It's just like Jeremy Bradley's Landscaping. Or it's just, they're so big with their name more than the actual business.
There's still people that think that I work for somebody. They still think that I'm.
But hey,
I don't.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Mm-hmm.
So my business I had.
Yeah.
They didn't know I was the owner.
Mm-hmm.
The old guy I had working for me.
They thought he was.
They thought he was the owner, and I didn't correct him.
I know. Yeah. Nah. Something.
Because I'm here to make the money.
Yeah.
I'm not in here. Black business. I don't care. I'm here. The purpose of owning a business is to what?
Make money.
Yes.
That's it. That is it.
I'm trying to figure out how to make more money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to get just a black dollar. I want every kind of dollar.
all the dollars.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
So whatever makes the customers feel more secure, I was for it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I was for it.
No, there are like that's. I mean, a lot of people, because a lot of people just know, because they'll see me and they talk. I actually talk to them, and so we are like, first name based. Like we talk about politics, we talk about sports, we talk other stuff. I see them outside of work. I got their numbers. We text every now and then on things, but there's some of them that just, could you tell the boss that, or I talked to you, talk to me, but okay, I talked to the boss earlier, and okay. Yep. No, I get that right. I get right on that.
I had some clients treat me bad.
Oh, goodness.
Thinking that I was a worker.
See, I don't know if I've gotten that one, but yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
because they're paying a lot of money, and people love to look down on something. And that's the problem with human beings, is always finding somebody to look down on.
Ooh.
And they were looking down on me.
They can look down as long as they paying enough. They can look however they want to.
Yeah. And I could have been like, I'm the boss. And they would have cut their time short, and I wouldn't have made as much money.
Yes.
I was making let's just say on a bad week. Let's just say I only went out like 2 days. Only did 2 days that week. I was pulling like $2,000 just those 2 days.
Ooh,
now, every day I worked was like a guaranteed $1,000. Now, imagine if you worked the whole week.
Oh,
it was easy money.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still able to do aviation because the guy I hired, the older guy that looks like he runs the place, he's retired. He was going broke. He started selling off a lot of his stuff.
Right.
And that's how I got my second boat.
Okay. Yeah.
Is because he had to sell it because he had no income. His everything he had was failing. And he was probably going to file for bankruptcy and stuff. Like, he had nothing.
Right.
So he did have a license that I didn't need. So we worked out a plan, and it was quite lucrative.
Yeah.
So he worked for me. But people just saw it as his business. I didn't care.
Exactly.
I left it as it was.
Cool. Cool. That's, I mean, like, because I've told my wife, like, that's the thing I want to do now. After this, I want to have a restaurant. But I don't want to be known as the owner of the restaurant. Like, I just want to be the money man, the silent partner.
But
that's
the problem. People don't want to realize it. And that's why they're going to stay broke, because they want their name out there so bad.
Yeah.
I wanted my brand out there.
Right.
I don't care if my name's attached to or not. I want the brand out there so I can make the money.
Yeah. No.
And it worked. It was very slow at the beginning, but then it started working out great. I started getting some really good contracts. And it became extremely lucrative. Like, I could have just stopped doing aviation and just did that full time.
Yeah.
But aviation was still, let me put it like this. This was like, what? I started maybe like 10 years ago. But let's say, I'm going to say like 8 years ago. So I was making so much money with that business that my checks from Paris Air were piling up.
Ooh.
We got paid every other week, so you get 2 checks a month.
Yep.
And
you weren't even worried
I
about
had
that.
checks just sitting there, maybe like 3 or 4 months worth of checks.
Ooh. There you go.
The center, but I had to get it before
60,
like
how many ever days that is that they put on the check? 90 days for it's void or some shit.
I had checks. So that time I actually got in trouble. Like, when I got arrested that one time. I actually I had Chia go to my job. I told her, because I was really close with the boss, so like he made this happen.
Yeah.
I was like, all the checks that I have, that y'all have like piled up waiting for me,
I need them now.
I was like, make a check out to her for that amount.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So then I use that.
Mm-hmm. To get you out of there.
Yeah.
See, there you go. I mean,
because she didn't have access to my money.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's might be the family. People, I say that, but then I don't say that. Because then you got like, because Pee Wee was here not too long ago, and he got his business and is picking up steam, and you know he got his masters, and he's not the type to sit around and like he's doing good.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing good. Me, doing all right. But then you'll take a whole other people that you know around, and it's just not. Something's up. Something's up.
I think it just goes back to somebody just never seen better. And they're there. If you knew better, you do better. Remember that?
Yeah. You knew better.
But they don't know better. Like
but it's tough to say you don't know better when you got a freaking computer. Everybody has a computer in their hand. Like
yeah. So when I went back to school for a little bit to finish my HVAC license, my classes was from Monday to Thursday. And no job. I couldn't do aviation because that's week long.
Yep.
So I stopped aviation and I picked up a small job. And it was just Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I went to school Monday to Thursday and Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I did that in college for a while. It was at a factory, a warehouse. It was a warehouse job. So I asked this one girl, just like, so what are your goals?
She ain't got none.
I was just like, she's like, hopefully one day I can be a manager of this place.
Oh, you did have a goal.
I'm like,
that's the goal.
She was getting paid like hardly anything. So I came in, they made me a lead. It still wasn't paying nothing.
Right.
But it was very sad.
Well, I mean,
let me put the management there was, I don't even think they were making $20 an hour, but that's her dream.
That was her goal.
I'm like, that's your dream, is to be a manager of a hot warehouse that's not paying people? That's your dream?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you say that, but then again, there's people that you ask them that question and they don't even have a goal. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. That might as well be the same goal. I'm just like, manager. There are profitable warehouses, but she said she wanted to be the manager of that place. It was, no.
Yeah.
And I was just like, how sad. I was like, no real career type. It was just weird. Just.
It's amazing what people will. They're so content.
Yeah, and that's the problem. They're content. I like being uncomfortable.
That's the thing.
People don't like being uncomfortable. I live in uncomfortable. People like to be.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like that. It's just like, all right, you're okay with this? You're okay living paycheck to paycheck. There's nothing wrong with it. But it's like, you don't want to move any higher. You don't want this next level of life, being able to do this, go there, do this. You're like, nah, I'm good here. You know what? I'm all for it. If you're good there, you're good there. Just don't say nothing when you see other people doing better.
But then again, there are a lot of people that like that are needed.
Yeah.
That too. Nah, somebody got to buy.
Yeah. That's what
somebody got to work at McDonald's, guy.
Yeah. McDonald's is always going to need some workers. But it's those phrases like that really stuck with me. That it really it really got me good. Just like, do I really want to be that? Do I want to be that basic? Everybody's happy with the basic.
Basic, yeah.
So let's say, let me give you an example of my goals. So getting your own place, that's a goal. That's a goal for everybody.
Yes.
So I had finally got my own place after, the whole fiasco. But when I finally got my own place,
Yes.
I was paying $150 a week,
Mm-hmm.
$600 a month at that place they knocked down. I see it's knocked down now.
Mm-hmm.
But what's my next goal? I wanted something better.
Yeah.
But some people are just content.
That's fine with that.
Like, that's good enough. I'm like, I want better.
You can't be.
So then I was like, I want something with better AC, better this, better that.
Yeah.
Which I kept going for, striving for. Failed at some points, but came back
you
up.
Have to.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of fails.
There's a lot of
money lost and fails.
Yeah.
People are too scared to take that risk, which I don't blame them because it is kind of scary. But you're gonna fail.
You are. But you have you got to be okay with that. You got to be okay with falling sometimes because my first couple businesses did not pan out.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give like an example, like just a few people that inspired me to do better.
Mm-hmm.
For like example, Boys and Alex, hang out with them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people just see them as regular. We're doing landscaping. We're doing landscaping.
Yeah.
In that hot sun, landscaping. Then I see Boise get a job at the dealership.
Yeah.
Selling cars, making money, get to sit in the AC.
Mm-hmm.
That became my goal. I was like, I need a
Get
job
out this
inside. I need an inside job.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, do I really want to be out here on this lawnmower every day? I'm allergic to insects.
You be about to die when a mosquito hits you.
So then I was like, so I tried to get a job there.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't hire me. I could have took it as a loss and like, nope, well, back to landscaping. That's it. I'm done. But didn't do that. So then that's when I got into the hotel business. I want to learn maintenance.
Yep.
Maintenance is good. So I started doing that. But my thing was I never liked being basic. I was like, how can I make money while I'm here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't do this, people.
Oh, no.
So what I used to do was
redacted.
Hypothetically.
Yeah, there we go. This is not an admission of guilt.
Nah,
this is a hypothetical situation.
Like if I was to put a room in maintenance,
Yeah.
they won't rent that room out to nobody, and I can rent that room out to somebody and make
goodness.
some money.
That is
And
something that could happen.
some people that do it, they're not there often.
Mhm.
They're just there for a certain who knows what. All right, cool. That's send them on their way.
Oh my god, that's a hustle.
But I've always had a thing of how can I make some money on the side. A lot of stuff may not have been the best, but
right, but
it was something.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, either it's gonna make it work, or I'm gonna be in jail because I'm not being broke. That's not happening. I can't. I don't know what being broke feels like. I've never. No, I don't know what that feels like.
I've been there. So another thing I started doing. So then, once I left the hotel, I went into aviation.
Mm-hmm.
So then, I'm thinking, how can I get more money?
Yes.
All right, I'm getting paid. So at this point, this is when I first thought about starting up my side business, but it wasn't profitable.
Mm-hmm.
So it was making money, but not much.
Right.
So I used to tutor students because most of our students were foreigners. So I'll go to their apartments and stuff like that, and I will tutor them on their English so they can pass their check rides and stuff like that, and be able to talk to Tower more clearly.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have students pay me to help them with their English.
The black guy teaching people how to speak well.
But I'm telling you, just I was motivated.
Right?
I'm like, there's always ways to make money. I was that motivated. I was just like, who would have think oh, well, let me go tutor these people how to speak English.
Still the land of opportunity.
Yeah, 100%.
It is still the land of opportunity.
I'm telling you, every country I go to, it makes me more grateful. Because you go to a lot of places in Europe, they hate black people. There's a lot of places where they can't stand it. Then being American and black,
that's double.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
that's why I say we're the most spoiled. and all
We are.
we complain about it. Yeah, the history is bad, but what's stopping you now from doing something?
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot better than what it was.
Yeah, you can literally. My thing is, what's stopping anybody right now from becoming a lawyer? There's no rule saying black people can't become a lawyer.
You're right.
What's stopping you from getting your education in school? You didn't want it. You didn't want to graduate. Well, you wanted to graduate, but you wanted to do this. You wanted to skip. You wanted to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't want to study. You didn't want to do that. You found, but some people living in poverty and stuff like that, so they don't have, they're raised by some idiot
that's the thing too.
Not letting them realize their opportunity.
That's the big one there.
Yeah, but my thing, the opportunity is there.
It's still there.
There's signs everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And here's another thing where people feel I realize there's a lot of colleges out there that's offering free programs to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Just to keep people.
You can get it if you want it.
Yeah, just to keep people in the school. But they don't try it. They don't look for it. But you ask them to find another way to scam, they're going to
find it. They're going to find it for a little bit of money too.
Yeah.
Or they're going to rob for a little bit of money. Like I want to help because I understand, kind of where a lot of our people, the situations they end up in. Like single parent home, it's a child raising a child.
Yeah, a lot of child raising a
Like
child.
it's
that goes to tradition. I'm gonna talk about that one later. But anyways, traditional. So yeah.
The downfall of the family.
This is just on my point of view.
Mm-hmm.
So then I remember going back to stuff that motivated me. Then I see people buy houses.
Yes.
Then I'm just like, why can't I do it? I was always harder on myself. It's not like, oh, that person got a house. Oh, well, he must have. No, I use that as motivation as I should be.
Right.
What's stopping me?
That's the thing. It was your attitude that changed the whole. Because you could have looked at it like just the other way.
A hater.
A hater.
I was hating on myself. I'm like, why am I not there?
Why are you not there? Yeah.
Even when I got my first house and got a mortgage, I was talking. I hired this guy. I'm not gonna say his name because it's gonna be weird. But I hired a guy to come do some work at the house, and he was telling me how his house was smaller. Didn't have irrigation. Yard wasn't as good as mine. But he told me he bought his house cash. And he doesn't owe anything on it. And here I am with a nice house, but I'm paying a mortgage on it. And I'm thinking to myself, would I rather have a nice house with a mortgage or a paid off house that I don't have to worry about ever having to pay rent or mortgage again? So even though his house wasn't as nice as mine, I would have preferred
to have the cash out.
To have his house.
Nah, I mean,
but people think different. Some people are like, oh, I'd rather pay for the nicer things. But as me, from thinking how much money I could save by not paying
on the mortgage,
because when you own your house outright, you don't have to have insurance.
You don't have to have insurance.
And that's another save. Florida insurance is expensive.
Yep.
But you still need it for hurricanes, but still.
You should have it still, yes.
Yes. But my thing was, I was just like, he has a paid off house. I'm like, what can I do to put myself in that situation to get my house paid off?
Yep.
So I started tripling my payments on the house to try to hurry up and get it paid off. But then later on, that's when COVID hit. But I had so much money that I was able to go ahead and
transition,
buy a house cash.
Yeah, transition and buy a house cash.
And twice the size of the house I had here.
Location.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's when I really felt like, all right, I'm finally getting somewhere. Yeah. But one of my wake up calls was, especially to buying a house, was when I was written from your dad, the house in Whispering Palms.
Yeah, you were written that.
Yes.
I forgot you.
There's a
said that.
picture. I got a picture. I still have this picture to this day, and I'm thinking about hanging it up in my office.
Mm-hmm.
It may not mean a lot to anybody. Nobody probably understand it, but this picture meant a lot.
Yeah.
It's me standing. It's not me standing in front of, but it's me taking a picture. I'm at the road taking a picture because one of my homeboys, Jamar, was asking what I was doing, if I was going to take the boat out or something like that. I'm like, nah, I'm cleaning the vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
So I stood at the driveway and took a picture of me cleaning the vehicles. No disrespect to that house, but looking at that picture, I had a newer Titan.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Corvette.
Oh God.
I had a new Camaro. I had a newer BMW.
Mm-hmm.
I had a motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm missing one. But all of these are parked at this not so good looking house.
Oh God.
And I'm just looking at this picture. I'm just like, all these vehicles together cost more than this house.
Oh goodness. Yeah.
Technically, one vehicle costs more than that
Stingray,
house.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's Stingray.
I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah. But I mean,
I'm just like,
it was a point in time. Mm-hmm.
I felt like it was kind of selfish because I'm like, I like cars.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the family will like a better house. It's a 3-bedroom, 1 bathroom. I'm pretty sure the kids will want their own bathroom. AC wasn't the best either. So
remember that one.
Yeah, so that was like awakening to me that I need to do better.
Do better than that, yeah. No.
But people are seeing like, Jeremy with the cars. Oh, you saw that car? They're cars.
Mm-hmm.
I can only drive one at a time, but I live in that house. Yeah, the house is nice. I redid it. It looks great on the inside, but from the outside of the house, even though it wasn't like tore up, it just like I could have did better. With these type of vehicles, why would I have these type of vehicles at this type of house? Yes.
Exactly.
So
it's kind of like out no.
It's like having a Lamborghini in the middle of 33rd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah. So that was like a wake-up call. Yeah. That's what made me get that house. And that was a beautiful house. And I put a lot of money into that house. People are like, oh, Jeremy got all that money when I sold the house. Do you know how much I put into that house? First of all, closing for that house was around, I think I paid around $14,000 for the closing for that house. So that's $14,000. Mm-hmm. The tile at that time, the flooring I had, that was new when they had the tile that looks like wood.
Looks like wood, okay. Yeah.
But this was a tile. This wasn't the,
vinyl stuff.
Vinyl.
This stuff.
This was the real deal.
Yeah. Yep.
And it was super expensive at that time.
Oh yeah.
I paid $10,000 for that floor. $10,000 for that floor.
Opulence.
Then I had all smart everything in that house.
Yeah.
And that's when the touchscreen refrigerator first came out.
I'd seen it.
Yeah, and it had the matching stove, microwave, and dishwasher package.
I had a video somewhere.
Yeah.
I think it's on my other phone though.
Then
when you were just now. I remember the refrigerator being in there. I don't think you had anything else in there. Like you were painting. Oh, why? I had the kids with me too or something. I was like, look at this nigga.
I was doing a lot. It was smart all the way to the smoke detector.
Yeah,
the smoke detectors called you if it smelled something. Then the amount of money I spent on the grass, the trees, the shed, the everything, the amount. I'm just like, I was putting some serious money into that house. Some serious money into the house. But I wanted to match
the outside. With the cars.
The vehicles.
Yeah.
But then I started getting a lot of vehicles. At one point, I had 10 vehicles.
See, that's crazy.
I had 10.
That is an insane amount of cars.
Yes. I had 10. It got so bad that I started my Corvette. I ended up parking it at the guy that worked for me. I told him to keep it at his house.
Yeah.
Because he had a 2-car garage in a gated community.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to me. Then
He's a helper. A helpful guy.
Then to keep it in his garage,
Yeah.
I gave let 2 people borrow 2 vehicles that have never been returned.
Yeah, that's
But
that happens.
all right, it was whatever.
Yep.
Then I had 2 in the garage. 4 was it 4 or 6 in the driveway? I can't remember.
You had a bunch.
Then 2 boats at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And Lord, a lot of crap.
The boys and his toys.
I know.
Mm-hmm. Gotta have your toys though.
Yeah, I get something to do. Then, goodness gracious, what was I thinking? Anyways, then they had a Cadillac 28,
The big, yeah.
on the 28 floaters.
Yeah, that.
with
What
the
else happened
sway.
to that one?
I sold it.
Oh god.
I thought it was gonna get stolen because I brought it to Georgia.
Oh yeah, that
And
floated away.
yeah, so I had some neighbors come
Mm-hmm.
and they came to me saying that there's a bunch of people walking down their street looking into my backyard. And they said they never seen those people before and stuff like that, and noticed they were constantly looking into my backyard. I'm like, yeah, they're finna steal it.
Yeah.
Because I parked it in my backyard at that time.
Yep.
Because the house I bought, even though the house is twice the size of the house I had here in Vero, for some dumb reason, they just had a one lane driveway.
Oh yeah.
So I paid to have get the drive.
Okay, that's a larger driveway.
Yeah. But this is before I had to because I had just moved here. I just moved in, so I was still doing stuff inside the house and outside the house. So I was just parking in the front yard. But the driveway, I was going to do it last. Oh, it was weird with the vehicles because that's another story. That guy made it a hard time for me to buy that house. Even though it's cash. So when you buy a house cash, it's only supposed to take like 2 weeks, 3 weeks tops.
Yeah, it shouldn't take a long time.
Because you're not dealing with the banks.
Right.
You just go there, lawyers, sign a few papers. When you do a mortgage, you sign like a thick it's a lot of paper.
Right.
You feel famous and they're just paper, pass. But when you buy a house cash, it's
Not that many.
much.
Yeah.
No. And everybody's like around the table and read out whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, it was simple. We're not even there, not even a few minutes.
Yep.
Guy showed up late. But I had to park. So these vehicles are nice. So I park them in the backyard because I didn't want them getting stolen. So I was afraid that one was going to get stolen. Then I put another one in storage. And I was like, because I was still back and forth to Florida. And I was just like, I didn't want to not be there because I still didn't know the neighborhood. But luckily, the neighborhood was good.
Right.
But I still didn't know. So I didn't want to take a chance on my stuff getting stolen. I'd rather sell it than be stolen. Then I wanted to downsize anyways. Oh, yeah, I had the Hayabusa also.
Hmm?
So I actually rolled put the Hayabusa in the back of your dad's
trailer.
Yeah. But then
You still got a bike?
Nah, not anymore. I got kind of scared, to be honest
Smart
with you.
guy.
It's because we
Smart
got
guy.
deer like crazy over there.
Oh yeah, no. Oh
And that's what scared me.
yeah, you hit one of those. It's over for you, buddy.
Yeah. And I'm just seeing them in the road and I'm like,
And
nah.
they're gonna hop away, and you're not.
Yeah. Nope. I ain't want no smoke.
Oh.
I started seeing, matter of fact, I think it was Joe working at Nissan.
Okay, yeah.
Nice house. He had a brand new house in the Falcon Trace or something like that, or somewhere. And I was like, dude, I got to level, and that became my next goal. Like, I got to level up.
Yep.
I need a bigger house. Then, like the foreign cars and stuff like that, I wasn't too much into it, but I was like, if they can get, why can't I have one for fun?
Uh-huh.
But see, it wasn't like I was.
But I think too, it's about the people you put yourself around, also.
Yeah, and that made a big difference because I was motivated to do better.
To do better.
But a lot of people these days aren't motivated.
No, they say you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Yeah. And I guess that's the problem with a lot of, I don't know, a lot of people here are just stupid. But
That
like I
is
was saying, but
yeah.
going back to the spoiledness of being American, I'm just like, you know what's crazy? Imagine this. I'm gonna give you a scenario, Stein.
Yes, go ahead.
Let's just say I'm doing very bad. I'm not doing good. I'm financially bad.
Okay.
I really need help.
Mm-hmm.
So I come to you.
Oh, that's your first mistake.
No. So,
Okay.
So I come to you,
Yeah.
and you start buying my food every month.
Mm-hmm.
Then you help me out with house. You help me get into a house and stuff like that. You help my payments every month.
You think I'm my daddy?
Yeah. Then I say, fuck Stein.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
That's how I feel about government assistance.
Yeah, you got to explain more into depth on that one.
Yeah.
You think that's how it?
That's how my thing
That's how it
was
feels.
when people, because like I said, people don't see more than, a lot of people don't see more than air, especially people that are severely controlled by the government. Call them government, honey.
Yeah.
They don't know, but they complain. Oh,
But see, it's a circle though, right? That's the thing, because once they start working, what happens to the government assistance?
they take it.
So it's like, well, could I just sit home and get assistance?
But
Or
that
should
is
I-
true.
It's
But
a
here's
trap.
the thing.
Yeah.
You're living in a place that gives you assistance. You know how many
Yeah.
countries that
That don't get assistance.
you're on your own?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That is spoiled, Stein.
It's so spoiled. It's so spoiled.
You can say
Yeah.
I can get pregnant and not have to worry about nothing.
Mhm.
What country?
There's not any that I know of.
What country can you do that?
There's not any that I know of, man.
Not only will they pay for your food, they will pay for your baby's food. They will pay for your housing.
Mm-hmm.
There's stuff where they give you money.
Yep. But
They
now-
will help you find a job.
Mm.
Go to some of these other countries and try that.
Nah, you on your own. You was on your own.
A lot of places don't even have retirement. So if your family doesn't take care of you, you're screwed.
You're out of there. Yeah. No, it's retirement. What is that? Japan? They don't even have a word for it.
But this is why I'm like, you're so spoiled. Americans are so spoiled. And you're like, oh, well, they're right. I don't care. Let me put it like this.
Mm-hmm.
I bet them people in the other country, if you say, I will give you free food, free housing, free this and free that,
Mm-hmm.
if you let me call you nigga every day, I bet they get called nigga every day.
There'd be so many niggas. So many niggas running around. Oh, of course.
But we're living like, oh my god, my feelings are hurt.
Nah.
Give me more food. You remember when they saw the government shut down and
Oh,
people,
they was
what am I
freaking-
going to do?
They were freaking out, boy.
Exactly. But they don't see how much of the control the government has on them.
You know, it does. But like, it's like I said, it's that, and it's also the trap though,
It is a trap.
because they're not gonna do better. Because why do better and lose what I'm getting for freaking free? Let
It
me
is a
work
trap.
to
But
get
guess
the same
what?
for free.
But you can live your life doing it.
You can,
You can live your life doing it.
you can.
You can work some job that's off
Under
the
table.
books,
Under the table.
which a lot of people do,
Yeah. Work yourself out of
and
that
live
situation.
good.
Yeah. No,
These
yeah.
people so poor, but the kids got the newest of clothes.
Oh, that's-
What country will allow you to do that? The government is paying you. In Cuba, the amount of cows, you have to report that to the government. Only way you can't kill your own cow, you go to jail.
Mm. Mm.
So unless your cow just so happened to fall to an accident, you still got to report it, and they got to come and do their due diligence.
Investigation, yeah. No, I mean you right about him.
You can, like I said, you go raise your own chickens in the backyard.
You couldn't do it.
You can do so much stuff.
Oh, you can now. Yeah, here you can. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can do so much stuff.
No, you can't. You can do it. People are spoiled.
That's why I say, when I originally say, "Oh, Black Americans are spoiled," shut up.
That's one. Like
they're
Americans in general, but yes,
Americans in general, but
Black
Americans are some of the most spoiled Black people ever.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many people that's gone through life without working?
A bunch. A bunch. A whole lot.
But how are not spoiled?
Oh, they're so spoiled.
Oh, he said, he called me this. I don't like doing. Other countries, they can be like, yeah, we're not going to pay you.
and we're going to beat you.
Yeah.
And you're going to work anyway. So it's like...
Go to some of these other places in Europe. Europe is obviously much better than other places, but they're going to look at you like you're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You want what? For free?
For free? This is not America.
Yeah, and it's America's only place where you can the people that's getting free stuff is talking bad about the people giving it to them.
Exactly. That's the funniest part. That's the funniest part.
It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So my kids are going to grow up to be grateful because they see firsthand how bad
things could be. Yeah.
Yes. I'm telling you, there's kids, like I said, there's kids, my kids' age, working jobs, full-time jobs, crappy jobs.
Mm-hmm.
But our kids get to sit on a computer.
Yeah.
Eat, go to school. The government will supply a laptop for them to take home.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm torn with my kids because I want them to. I'm gonna want them to see it, so they're gonna have to see it. But I don't necessarily want them to experience it as much as I did.
You know what?
So,
and you know what? I think that's a failure that's starting from a while ago, because everybody's taking away a little something that they had to go with, and what's going to be the end result?
Well, see, what's the saying? Hard times makes.
Oh yeah, I remember that saying.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
I don't know how it goes, but it's great the way it goes.
Yeah, but I know what saying you're talking about. But I'm just like, if everybody keeps taking away a little, what's going to come out at the end?
We're gonna have a week.
Like we don't have.
Like we have week now. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're getting weaker and weaker and weaker. So I mean,
is it a tough stuff? But you know what?
I want them to get some. So it's a delicate
So it's
balance.
more of mental stability versus soft kids. Because the people back then, they weren't right in the head. Because it's stuff they had to deal with compared to now these soft kids that are just, you say anything wrong, they're crying.
Mm-hmm.
You take away enough. Joe Blow over here, who had to deal with all this crazy stuff, that's probably shell shocked, don't want his kids to deal with what he has to go through. Those kids don't want to deal with what they had to deal with old Joe Blow, and it takes that away, and it's like, and it just keeps going up. And like,
I'm hoping I'm doing it better, but
we're parents. We're not gonna know what we're doing.
Exactly. That's what I tell my kids. I say, this is my first time being a parent.
Just trying the best we can.
Exactly.
But as long as we know that we're trying,
We're trying.
There's a lot of people that just, the system is raising their kids.
And that is not a great way.
Yeah. System is raising their kids because they depend on the school to teach them. And when they get home, they just eat chicken nuggets and play video games until they go back to school. Now, what if the school is not educating them the way they need to be educated?
Oh, they're not, though.
Yeah. You know something?
I mean, the kids, school that my kids go to, elementary magnet school, so they
Yeah.
get extra freaking stuff. So,
See,
but
I can't be in like a presidency or Congress or something. You know what I say? I was like, if you want government assistance, I want the kids' report cards.
oh,
Think about that.
that might be a decent.
So
That might be a decent idea.
that'd be a stipulation.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just getting all this free government stuff, and you just letting your kids do whatever.
Might be the campaign you run.
Yeah. 6-time felon.
That's all right. Look who we got, Big T in there right now.
Yeah. But my thing is that will, let's just say, all right, your kid's failing. We're going to take away your government assistance.
Take away your government assistance.
That parent will now have more of an initiative to make sure their son is doing right because they have no initiative. They send him to school, and then so what? He come home. All right, I'm gonna go out. Most of them are just working all the time.
A lot of them are work. They're trying to work while their kids are going. It's like a daycare.
Yeah,
school's a lot of daycare.
Exactly. So if these kids, you're raising another generation of degenerates.
That's what's happening.
Yeah,
that is what's happening.
They don't know better.
No,
all they see is their. But you gotta. And another mistake I think is people underestimate what kids see and what they see their mom doing.
What they pick up.
And a lot of single mothers don't realize that the kid knows more than what he's saying or what she thinks that the kid realizes. Yeah. And he's picking up on this stuff.
Yep. And kids don't do what you say, they do what you do.
Yeah. and a lot of these single mothers are raising to the same degenerates that are screwing them over. So it's going to be just another set of...
It's a vicious cycle.
It is a very vicious cycle.
Yeah, that's you. You got to get out there and... I do want to... Once things get established, I do want to have like a school for like underprivileged kids, like a place for them to go to.
See, I would love to do something like that.
Like teach them certain skills, like just fitness, you know.
Yeah, I
things like that.
I would love to do something like that. You know, kind of stop this terrible cycle, but I don't know, when did it start? I don't know. Was it during the crack era? I don't know.
That's what a lot of it seems like. It was the crack era because then, you know, because before the dads were in the home, but then like the whole government assistance thing is kind of pushed the dads out of the home. You can't really, if you say you live here, they can't get no government assistance with the two people living there. That's another thing there. So boom, dad's in jail, dad's out. So they feel better. Like, no, I'm gonna have this baby. I'm gonna keep this baby. I don't think that.
Yeah,
they're gonna cancel me for that one. I don't think they shouldn't let some of these people have as many babies as they have.
Oh yeah, they can just pop them out and the government will pay for it.
No, this is your nah. You can't. Nope. No,
my body, my choice, my pussy.
Well,
oh jeez.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't be having that many, and just you and like, I don't know.
Yeah, don't put me in the presidency. I'll tell these people they need to write "God bless America" on their Facebook status every day. If you want government assistance, I need to see you do the Pledge of Allegiance every day.
I don't think that. See, you're saying that, but if you really said that, I think you might get a lot of people that'll vote for you too. Like, I don't put anything past anybody anymore. Not after what we've seen.
Big T
saying some jump. Yes. Okay.
But I can't be. I'm not knocking a lot of stuff. But my thing, I just try to see what's logical. I try to stick on the logical ass point of things. But it's, yeah, the government's gonna.
They have no. Yeah, but see, they have no reason to fix the system. because the system really doesn't bother them.
No,
Not at all. Like we see it. We see the downfall of our people. They don't. Some people they just don't care. Like it's working.
It's a
working for
downfall
y'all.
of everybody, but I know you're talking about specifically ours, but they're all going down.
Yeah, they are all going.
Yeah,
down.
and it's funny the people that there's so many people in government assistance, and those same people like to pretend like they have money and talk like the rich folks. Listen here, let's cut it. Let's cut that government assistance,
and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, let's roll these dice. I'm ready. I'm ready. Section 8, you only get it for a month.
See, that's the thing. You see it when it starts freaking out. They're like, "Oh, government shutdown again." No,
I'm gonna feed my
They
kids.
say they're
Get a
gonna
job.
I mean, yeah.
But you got to think this goes to the other thing when I was talking about traditional, because the way I see traditional, I don't see it traditional the same way other people see traditional. When you say traditional, you think of what the mom,
Traditional
dad,
family.
yeah,
Yeah. Mom, dad in the house.
Yeah.
Probably dad working and providing, mom
Yes.
at home raising kids.
But that's traditional.
That is traditional.
So I see, you know how somebody would categorize the Stone Age. They say this era was the Stone Age.
Mm-hmm.
I would say this era was the traditional.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an ongoing thing. You got to realize. So back then, a man was getting paid enough for his woman could stay home and take care of the kids, which made them smarter. Because it's a huge difference when you have somebody home to make sure the kids are doing their work or teaching them or whatever.
Preach, yeah.
Yeah. But now we're in the era where you need
2 incomes. You need 2 incomes.
You need 2 incomes. But you know what else what that did? Now the woman has the same plus more opportunity to make more money than the man.
And better.
Yeah. So the unsung song people don't like to talk about is during the traditional household, a lot of those women weren't happy. But they had no choice.
They had no choice.
But to stay and make it work. We're living in an era where
now they can go out there and make
money themselves. Go out there and make the money themselves.
Yep.
Back then, they didn't have that. So that's why I want to call that the traditional era. Because now the opportunity is there for them.
They go out and get paid.
So that goes between the needs and the wants. So now, back then, a woman needed a man. A woman doesn't need a man now.
Oh. they
just want one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Need, you can't get rid of the girl. Want, you sneeze wrong, she gone.
Yeah, no, that's right. You think it's better though?
No, I don't think it's better. But that brings up another point. When has it ever been good? I brought this subject. I brought this thing up before. I want you to really think about this question.
Right. Okay.
When was there ever a time where there was my husband, wife, and man never cheated?
When?
Yeah, think of a time when there was an era where the man never cheated.
Adam and Eve.
You going that far back? That's pretty far back.
That's all I can think of.
So when people say traditional,
that's because there was no other way.
Yeah. So when people say traditional, they like to view the husband, loving husband and wife, and the kids. It's like like the movies they play, a fairy tale. Everybody believes these fairy tales. But if you actually talk to some of these old folks about how their marriage really went.
Dad had a whole nother family no one knows.
Yes. About. Next city over. Because there was no Facebook to find out. Men had multiple families.
I know, it's crazy.
And the woman couldn't leave. Because she had no choice.
She had to hold it down.
So is that the era that people are idolizing?
I think that's what you see.
But that's the truth of that era that people was doing. But people see all they wanted. They like to sugarcoat everything.
Oh,
Like yeah, that was just like the husband and wife and the kids. That was a great time.
And you could smack them.
Yeah.
Woman open
Yes.
hand. What Sean Connery said?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Man,
hit him one time with an open hand. What? Wait, what did you say?
The lasagna's cold. He fucking hit her across the head with the pan.
Oh God!
But you're talking about an era where cops understood when a man slapped their wife.
Yeah. Oh, I understand, brother.
So where was this loving traditional era?
They take the good parts.
Yeah, that's all they do.
Mm-hmm.
And they watch these fairy tales and just like think how it's supposed to go.
Yeah, no, I've seen them. Oh, I want to be a trad. Was it a trad wife? Traditional wife? Trad wife.
I'm like, do you know what it is? All right. Next time I say that, uppercut her. Why is my dinner ready?
Dinner's supposed to be home when I come home. It's supposed to be on the table.
But people don't talk about that.
They don't talk about that part. No.
So during that era, back in the day, main things people don't talk about, the husband's cheating. That was a big thing. And that was in a lot of different cultures. Black, white, Italians. That was big. You just don't bring it home. That was the rule.
That was it. Don't bring it home.
Women getting beat. That was a thing.
Yep.
That was a huge thing. And another big thing, women getting raped a lot back then. Because how it was reported, it's not like now. They didn't have cameras and stuff back then. Men got away with a lot more stuff.
Way more.
So I found more information because I actually started talking to some it was an older black couple that told me. And that happened a lot, even in families.
Yeah. No, I mean, we see it.
Cousins make dozens.
God. We see it with well, we're seeing it now with just the higher industry stuff now with the Me Too movements. Like, that's stuff that they used to, Bill Cosby got away with junk for a long time.
It's been going on forever, but nobody talks about it.
Nobody was talking about it.
So is this the traditional values that people want?
No. See.
When was it good? When was America great? What's your definition of great?
What is your definition of great? Because you gotta, if you're taking it to the great, you gotta take the other parts too.
Yeah. It's great that they pay for your stuff. Yes.
See,
that's the great you're talking about. Are you talking about the segregation great?
That's the thing. I could never get with that making America great again. The again part. What do you mean again? Because there's not a time in history when America was greater than it is right now for my people. Or people that look like me.
It was probably some sugar-coated history. I don't know.
No, there wasn't a time. No.
No. There's no time, but I'm saying he's probably going off to something that was sugar-coated and thinking that, but in reality.
But see, he doesn't even understand, like, that to us wasn't a great slogan. Make America great.
Bro, who's more?
What happened?
But population.
No, no. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't thinking about us.
Yeah.
We don't vote. We don't vote Republican anyway most of the time.
Wait, voting? What is voting anyways? What is a vote?
What do you mean voting? Nah, it's just that.
You want them to vote? Tell them they're finna take away all government assistance.
Oh, they fisting in droves.
What?
Well, they tried that. Well, that's why they get a lot of them to the polls.
Like, you're like, you know what? This person get elected, you're finna lose all government assistance. Watch how they back the voting booth.
That's what Kamala should have said. That's what she should have been saying.
Jeez.
Hey, but a lot of people were showing up to pass by.
I'll take Trump any day over Kamala.
Oh yeah, no, definitely that. But it's like,
What do I need? I need some more rainbows in the school.
And I hear her now. What did she say? Told you so or something she was saying.
Yeah, she was all over. My thing was this. This is the pettiest reason why I didn't like her. Is when she brought like Megan Thee Stallion out.
That was the horriblest. That was the dumbest decision.
I thought if that's not the most coon thing you could possibly do,
that was the dumbest junk. I was like, who does?
And
that's worse than Biden talking about if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. I was like, you can't do. Come on.
I don't know. When Megan, you brought out Megan Thee Stallion.
That's how out of touch they were with who I guess they were trying to get to vote.
That's what they think of us. Come on, Chuck and Jive over here to the. Come on, twerk over to the.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh! She had. Was it? I don't remember these new people's names. Was it Glorilla or?
It might have been Glow too. It might.
Yeah, it was two of them.
I know Meg.
It was Meg and the booty hole brown girl. I'm like, this is who you want.
Oh wait, no, she didn't have Sexy Red up there.
No, not Sexy Red. Who was the other one?
No, I think it was Glow.
Yeah, but what these girls stand for, what they talk about.
It might have been. You have Cardi? Or they were trying to get Cardi. Maybe, I don't know.
But my thing is, this is what you think.
That's what they think. Yeah.
Do you think them white folks care about Megan Thee Stallion? Or Sexy Red or whatever they had of them. Do you think they care?
It would have been better if they did have Sexy Red come out there and say, that would have been freaking hilarious. I would have watched it. See, I didn't see it. I just saw that.
I couldn't do it.
If they brought Sexy Red, I would have watched it.
That was too much niggatry for me.
Hey, come to think of it, I got my kids watching freaking Boondocks. Oh my God. And my kid, my middle kid, are we gonna watch the nigga show? That's what she calls. That was a freaking fantastic show. Oh my God.
Yeah, but
gotta put your kids on it.
I know, but why? Why? You might as well have some white folks out there with blackface holding watermelon talking about.
I should have brought Kanye out there with his black clean suit on.
Jeez. Why?
Oh yeah, I don't. They were out of touch, but they were out of touch the whole time. They're still out of touch now. If the Democratic Party does not fix, they're gonna lose again.
Good.
They're gonna lose again.
I think make them work. That's what I say. Cut the funding.
They have no vibe. They have no.
But you know what? The money that they're putting in the government assistance, take that same money out and use it as a bonus for people that actually have a job.
That'd be sweet.
So initiative to work. Initiative to do better.
Take away income tax. Wasn't he saying something like that? I don't know what you're saying. They was not gonna tax
overtime or something like that.
Not tax on tips. Ooh, y'all do that. I'm finna change my whole business plan up.
I don't know. Ooh, them taxes took me.
Hey, if they don't,
taxes got me. They snatched that money so quick.
See, but when they said no tax on tips, that's gonna open up a whole thing. Because
you know what?
You can charge somebody a cheaper fee, and they just pay the rest of it as a tip.
Yeah, that's true. I just don't understand these restaurants. You want? I'm so anti-waiter.
Oh, see, you weren't a server. You were never a server?
No, I worked at a restaurant. Yeah, I worked with servers. I saw them eating fries off y'all plate before they served.
Hey, that's we do that. We're gonna eat a fry.
So y'all want us to tip you for them fries I'm missing?
20%.
I'm still a little hungry, and them fries could have been that last little bit I needed.
Just one fry, just a scraggler. Just a scraggler. It was what do they call it? Quality. The thing. Make sure it's good. That one. Quality control. There we go.
That's what you want to call it. So the job don't want to pay you, but you want me to pay you.
Mm-hmm. So you don't tip 20%?
Actually, I'm an excellent tipper,
Oh,
and I only
so
do that
cool.
just to put the smiles on the people's face.
There we go.
I'm an excellent tipper. So back then, me, Boise, Alex, and I, we used to eat out a lot, especially on the weekends, and we usually tip a minimum of like 50%.
Ooh, nigga, why you ain't come to the restaurant when I was working?
Because we're having fun, fun with the Raider,
Yeah, but see, the restaurant that I worked at, I forgot how long I was working. Let me see. As a server, 2 or 3 years I was there. I could count on one hand, 2 hands, how many of my people that came in that freaking place. And I got one of them. Oh my goodness, I do not like niggas, man. Niggas do not tip. Like what? 10%? You gonna give me $10 on over $100 bill? Nigga, don't ever come back. I turned the lights off on him. I was, because first of all, I knew it was some niggas because black people have came in there before.
Yeah.
But this was some niggas that came in there. Two niggas came in there. They just, Nick, I'm coming up to them, hey, this is just give us a moment. Like, wait till, all right, you can come in and hang out. This ain't the come to hang out place.
Mm-hmm.
And then they in there. It's late. We trying to close. Nigga, I turned the lights on. And I said, oh, I didn't know you guys were still here. Oh, you want us to leave? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
After I got the tip money, yes. Get the frick out of here. $10 on over $100. Come on.
But working in places like that, dealing with people, it makes you biased against certain people. So that's every
I
place.
understand it. So, like I said,
working at Maryland Fried made me biased against obese people.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm going to give you some examples.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to have one lady that was so big that she would send her son, little kid, and he really couldn't read that well, and trying to repeat what she was saying. So he'll come up to, and he's running back and forth because he couldn't get the order right because she was just so big.
She couldn't come up and do it herself.
So then she finally gets out the vehicle, wobbles to the front. Jose, I'll get a 6-piece. You don't need no chicken, ma'am. But it was like that a lot.
Oh, yeah, no.
We had that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And what used to drive me nuts, it was the obese people that will open up their food right there at the counter as soon as they get it.
Or to eat
and
or
start tasting everything.
No.
Start eating. I just handed you the box.
They can't even wait. They hungry.
I'm like, just walk right there. They holding up the line because they want to taste the food and eat the food.
Right there. Oh, man. Yeah, no, I didn't.
And want to fight over a water cup so they can put some soda in it.
Mm-hmm. Goodness.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't
They had me feeling extremely biased.
I don't think I could work at a place like
Maryland Fried has taught me a lot.
I don't know. At least the place I worked at was semi-fine dining. So
yeah, I worked at a fine dining before, a very fine dining, and so I gotta put this. I don't want to say their name. So there was a manager there, and her son used to be on our football team, and this was a very uppity place, in a very uppity place here in Vero.
Yes.
So we're allowed, drinks are free. You can go get a drink whenever you want. It was kind of hidden off or whatever.
Yeah.
So one time I went to go get a drink. I was a dishwasher. I was in high school at this time.
You don't come out front?
I made that mistake.
What's wrong with you, boy? You don't come out front.
I made that mistake. Hey, guess what? I didn't even go out there. I just looked.
What you looking for? Ain't nothing out here for you, boy.
I got called into the office. I got called into the office.
Yeah.
I think I was in college during this time. Yeah, it was college. I was doing this. I was doing the later night shift. And luckily the lady, knowing that I used to play on the same team as her son, she broke it to me like a very nice way.
Oh yeah.
She's like, just want to let you know that the people out there, they don't like dishwashers.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Oh my goodness. I mean,
that's what she said. She's
just
like,
change that word up, but
yeah.
no, I'm joking.
Yeah, she's like, but it wasn't like I was in like a dishwasher uniform. She's like, they don't want to see any dishwashers out there. Yeah, no. I was like, say less.
No, people couldn't. The back of the house can't come out front. They shouldn't come out front.
Yeah.
So,
this place was very uppity too. We had our own buffet. The kitchen had their own buffet.
No buffet back there.
Yeah, it was nice. You just don't poke your head out.
Yeah, no, don't come out front. Brother.
Yeah, it was because all right. So there's a door, but then there's a thing that so you can't look straight into the door, and that's where the soda machine was. So all I did was just. Apparently that set somebody off. No. Coon alert.
Oh, but it's nice talking to you, brother.
Oh yeah.
It's been
late. Yeah.
It's been a great time. You have anything else to get off your chest for you?
No, you
Let's
don't
get
want to hear
out
stuff
of here.
I gotta get off my chest.
Oh my goodness. No, I'm gonna have you. You come right on after I have your daddy come over here and stir up the Christian world. You got him on TikTok?
No, I don't have TikTok.
Don't get his TikTok.
Like
I think I got him on TikTok.
I don't know. I try not to get too much. I found TikTok to be addictive to people.
The algorithm
Yeah.
is horrible, guy. You stop and look at something, you stop looking. The rest of it is just what the frick you looked at. And you just can't. You can't.
I see it as addictive. I see it as a downfall. I refuse to let my kids have anything like that.
No. They say they don't have I ain't letting them get TikTok. And they have phones, but they don't get to get on their phones.
Yeah. So my kids have iPhones and
got that.
I have so many different
parenting stuff on there.
Yeah. So if they want to download something, it sends a thing to my phone.
Yep.
So I have to approve it.
Yep.
And I deny everything.
Yeah. Nope. Same.
Sometimes my daughter gets ballsy in the side, still sitting. I'm like, I'm not going to approve it.
No. Try it. But
I'm like, it's just going to sit here. It's going to sit right here. Sometimes I'm not even going to deny it. It's just going to sit there.
Yeah. But see, they like, because they got watches. Well, they've had watches that you can call and you can text on, but you can't like do anything else on it. Because I want them, and it has location on it. So, I want them to have access to me at any time and at the school. Schools are freaking crazy now. So, but they have phones, but they don't get the phones. Like she don't even let them get them. She'll let them get them.
Are they Androids or iPhones?
Used to be Android. But now iPhone. My oldest daughter has a phone. My second one doesn't really have a phone. But she has a watch.
My daughter, since she's in middle school now, she's allowed to take her phone to school, but it has so much restrictions on it. It's useless.
They can't take it.
Yeah. She can call me. That's what she can do.
Right? But see, that's the thing with the watch. Like the watch, you can call on the watch and you can text and we know where you at.
Okay. Yeah, that's also a good idea. I'll probably do that for little Jeremy.
Because they came it was like $30 or something with the phone bill. The watches suck though. They should have gave us like better deals, but whatever. It tells them where they at. They can call. They can text. You can turn it off.
Yeah. I remember my daughter messed her phone.
Numbers.
I gave her a flip phone one time.
What is this?
She hated it.
What is this thing?
So she went on a field trip and she kept calling us from different numbers. I'm like, "Where's your phone at?" She's like, "You know why?"
I'm not using that thing in front of my friends.
Because you got to press A. What the?
You gotta go through the numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, she hated that.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, I don't know.
It's great. I love it. I guess the next time I'm down, we can do another one.
Yes, sir. We are going to. So, this has been live on air with let me say my right name. It's been live on air with D-stine.
Take away government assistance.
Take away government assistance. Jeremy
Give
Jerome
it to
Bradley for president.
Yes.
20. Well, you got to be a certain age to
Well,
run,
hey,
right?
if Trump can catch felonies,
That's what I'm saying. He already broke. You can get one too.
hey, he's paving the way.
He's paving the way. Mm-hmm. It's open game now. It's hey, you just be the second. Right in there.
They won't like me in office.
I mean, most presidents, there's somebody that doesn't like them.
Like me.
Well, yes. Thank you guys for coming out, and we'll see you next time on Live on Air. Peace.